So for my paper topic, I chose acoustic ceiling grid. Ceiling grid really serves many different purposes: insulation, ceiling access, finished product of a room. There's several more. And to me, personally, I think the main purpose of acoustic ceiling grid is above ceiling access. And what I mean by that is, like in a commercial building or any type of building really, if you have something go wrong above ceiling as far as plumbing, AC, ductwork, electrical, communication, something that needs to be easily accessed and fixed quickly to keep the building running as it's supposed to. This application is really perfect for that. It's as simple as coming in, popping out a few ceiling tile, getting above the grid, fixing whatever you need to fix, coming down, dropping the tile back in, and boom, nobody ever knew you were there. Whereas, different, or not different, but other ways to do this would be a hard ceiling, which would be like a drywall ceiling. And with that, you would have to go in, cut out a hole, fix whatever you need to fix, which, given there is access panels and holes in the drywall ceiling, but the majority of the time you got to get somewhere where that access panel is not. So you would have to cut a hole, fix your problem, come back down, patch the hole, finish it, sand it down, paint it, make a huge mess again, and once you get done and you paint it, the paint's probably not going to match the existing paint. So, like I said, to me the main reason, or the most beneficial reason of acoustic ceiling grid is ceiling access. Another very important part of ceiling grid is insulation, and insulation for sound and also insulation for heat and cool. The sound factor, it really plays a key part in just, if you're in a big room with 100 people and everybody gets talking as loud as they can and, get excited, it gets loud real quick. And the ceiling tile will really do a good job of kind of absorbing some of that sound and, keeping it down and, just deadening down the sound a little bit and making it more reasonable. Also, the insulation factor of the heat and cool. If you're in a building and the deck, say, is 20 feet, okay, so you don't want to be heating and cooling 20 feet in the air because it's just airspace and nobody's up there anyway. It's kind of a waste. So whenever you run your grid, if it's 9-foot ceiling, your 9-foot ceiling goes in, and then the insulation or the ceiling grid is ran at 9 foot, and the insulation is keeping the heat down 9 foot and below. The same with the cool. You're cooling a big room, and it would just be foolish to cool 20 feet up to the deck. And applications or buildings where there's not ceiling grid, you will see that that whole space is being cooled, and it's not very efficient. But anyways, those are just a few reasons that ceiling grid will be installed. I have some samples here of different types of ceiling grid. This will be like a heavily insulated ceiling tile. And then you have just a regular, flat ceiling tile. It's pretty dense, hard. Feels kind of like sheetrock for this certain one. And then I have another one that's a little bit softer. And these are just 3 different styles that I thought would be good to show. There's hundreds of different types, more than that. And everything's made kind of specific for where the product is being installed. That being said, you have different ones, different colors, different types. You may see like a black in a movie theater, for example, to keep the color down, give you a better picture on the movie screen. Most common is white. It just gives a cleaner look and kind of makes the rim feel brighter and bigger. Anyway, so it can all be custom ordered. I've seen purple and yellow and every color in the rainbow, and kind of some different buildings that I've been a part of. And then here I have an example of the grid itself. It's really two parts of it. You have your mains. This will be your main. This is just a sample again. So your mains are usually 10 feet long, and then you'll have a 4-foot T and a 2-foot T. And from there, the T's will kind of click in to the mains like so. Very lightweight, easy to handle. You hear it pop in, click in. Same thing for this side, click in, and it will go just like that. The ceiling grid itself is actually suspended or hanging from a wire. There's different size wires for different size ceilings. And the wires will be attached different ways. They can be anchored in to a concrete deck. They can be screwed to purlins. They can be tied from bar joists. If it's a wood application, it'll be screwed into the wood with the screw eye, then you tie your wire around it. This is wall mold, and it's just a piece of 90 angle metal, and it will go up on the wall like so at your ceiling height. So, one of the first steps is running your wall mold, and once this is up, this is a very important tool, is a line laser. You'll mark your height for your ceiling, and the laser will go around the room, and you just simply set the wall mold on the line laser all the way around and screw it off. You have to check the blueprints for the spacing of the screws on the wall mold. That's a very important part, along with the wires. I got a couple tools here that are used for the installation of ceiling grid. There's more, but these are just a few that I had handy. Some climbs, very important. This is what you use to tie your wires. So you get your height set, and you'll run it through, get it tied through your main. The wires will be tied to the main every 4 feet. Will have to be wrapped a minimum of 4 times, a clean wrap, and all that will be inspected. So then, once the ceiling is installed, you will use your laser again, put it on the wall mold, and come below about 2 inches of the grid, and use this laser card. It'll go around, and the magnet on the card will stick to the grid, and that's your way of leveling it and make sure everything is good and level. Another important part of the installation is to make sure that everything's square. There is a little bit of tolerance, an 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, but the importance of it being square is once the grid's ran, the tile has to be dropped in, and in order for it to drop in, it has to be pretty much perfectly square for the tile to fit. Back to the installation part, once you run your grid and everything is going and you start to drop tile in, there's several times where you'll see they'll run back insulation and just set it on top of the ceiling tile, and that gives it another insulation purpose. That's something I forgot to say earlier. Pretty common thing that you see in as far as insulation goes. These are another important part of the installation process. Some Phillips. These are set up right now to run grid at 8 foot. Adjustable. I can run grid at 8 foot anywhere to like 8 to 10 foot 6 with these. A lot more efficient. Get the job done quicker. A little bit dangerous, but once you get comfortable, it's definitely worth it, and make more money for the company for sure. So anything over 10 foot 6 though, I like to use either a scaffold or a scissor lift or something like that. Not a ladder, it takes way too long. I've seen people do it, but anyways, so these are my key factors of ceiling grid, and just wanted to share this with you all. Thank you for your time, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.